Pastor Frederick Brown contacted 6 on Your Side before this week's historic rainfall, and we saw firsthand how quickly the floodwater rose around his church. Village Creek flows through Roebuck, Eastlake, and directly beside this church off 1st Avenue North. It's something Pastor Frederick Brown didn't think twice about when purchasing this property around 3 years ago, until the first significant flood.
5 inches, maybe 10 inches high, where you can see the water lines on the side of the building.
So you said you've been here 3 or 4 years.
When we met Brown Tuesday, Village Creek was about a foot high, steady, even serene. Less than 24 hours later,
it's been wave after wave of storms.
Gosh, look at this water right here.
Flash floods forced the water up 10 feet over the culvert, covering the road, swiftly moving debris and anything in its path. The church surrounded on all sides, nearly covering the steps.
It looked kind of terrifying just standing there looking at it. It looked more like a river than a ditch. It just started backing up and started running over the ditch, over the streets, and started backing coming down the streets, and it's began to flood both sides of the street, that side and this side.
Brown showed us it doesn't take a flash flood. This happens with ordinary rainfall.
And every time we get a bad storm, I have to counsel our Bible studies to save my people, to keep them out of danger.
The force of the water is washing away the church's foundation, revealing gaps down in the crawl space. If that wasn't enough, it nearly washed away an AC unit.
That was a great loss, and for 2 or 3 summers, winters, we went through without the other part of the building having air or heat, so it was a struggle.
When they installed the new unit,
we had to lift it up at least about 4 or 5 blocks. Cement block, concrete blocks, to keep it from being washed away.
So far, Brown's calls to the city have gone unanswered.
Here it seems like they've been just forgotten though. If we don't care, the city don't care, they're not gonna care.
With or without high water, Brown says ministry will go on.
I'm planning on being here if it's God's will. It's got to be His will because He put me here. So I'm looking forward to possibly, some kind of help.
The city wasn't familiar with the calls for help and scheduled a visit to the church for a site evaluation. They also noted the church is in a special flood hazard area. The city says it's seeking grants to mitigate this issue. Jennifer Horton, WBRC, Fox 6 News, on your side.